Hey guys, welcome back to Retro Pocket. Today we are digging into one of the most anticipated games of the decade, Hollow Knight Silksong. After years of waiting, delays, and endless speculation, the release is finally upon us. September 4th marks the day Hornet takes the spotlight, and we are breaking down everything you need to know before you dive in. From world size and combat mechanics to post-launch plans, here are 9 essential details that every fan should know before buying. Release date and platforms. Circle your calendars, because Hollow Knight Silksong officially arrives on September the 4th. It's not just coming to 1 or 2 systems. Team Cherry is going all in with a simultaneous release across nearly every major platform. That means you can play it on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, and even the upcoming Switch 2. This wide availability is a huge win for fans who worried about staggered rollouts or platform exclusivity. Interestingly, the buzz surrounding the release has already had ripple effects across the industry. Several other developers have chosen to delay their own games to avoid competing with Silksong's launch window. That says a lot about just how massive this sequel's presence really is. For a small team like Team Cherry, it is remarkable to see their creation command such influence. For buyers, this means no matter your setup, console or PC, you'll be able to jump into Hornet's adventure right on day one. The launch parity across platforms removes any need to wait or double dip. And given the hype, being there on release day is part of the fun. How it connects to Hollow Knight. Silksong was born out of a Kickstarter stretch goal for the original Hollow Knight. Back then, Team Cherry promised a new playable character with her own quest line, and that character was Hornet. But as development continued, her role expanded far beyond a side story. I mean, this was supposed to be just additional content, but it grew into a fully fledged, standalone sequel. Hornet, who many players remember as both rival and ally in Hollow Knight, now takes center stage. This time, she's not simply an adversary with fast attacks and cryptic dialogue. She's the protagonist. That means her perspective, story, and abilities will guide the entire journey. While fans can expect subtle nods to Hollow Nest, Silksong's storyline is designed to stand on its own. The Kingdom of Pharloom offers new lore, and characters entirely separate from what we explored in the original. This makes Silksong approachable for newcomers, while still rewarding long-time players with connections to the first game. So if you're worried about needing encyclopedic knowledge of Hollow Knight before diving in, don't be. Silksong is meant to be its own adventure, with Hornet leading a story that's just as layered and mysterious as its predecessor. World size and Pharloom. One of the biggest questions surrounding Silksong is, how big is the new world? Team Cherry has been tight-lipped about exact numbers, but co-director Ari Gibson hinted that Pharloom, the kingdom Hornet explores, might actually surpass Hollow Nest in scale. He described it as another giant thing, and even admitted it probably exceeded the size of the original. That's a bold statement, considering Hollow Knight was renowned for its sprawling, interconnected world. Pharloom also includes multiple towns, which suggest a stronger emphasis on settlements and NPC interaction. What we've seen so far hints at both verticality and variety. Ascending to the top of the kingdom is the main objective, and along the way, players will encounter caverns, docks, and other elaborate regions that encourage exploration. For players who love uncovering every secret, Pharloom sounds like a paradise. It continues Team Cherry's tradition of creating worlds that feel alive and interconnected, while upping the scale to match Hornet's more ambitious adventure. Expect to spend dozens of hours here if you're the type to explore every nook and cranny. Areas revealed so far. While Team Cherry has guarded much of Pharloom, they've given us a glimpse into some standout locations. The Greymore Caverns are one of the first regions teased, and they set the tone for Silksong's atmosphere. Expect encounters with new insectoid characters and strange crawl bugs lurking in its depths. It's gloomy, expansive, and clearly full of surprises. Then there's Deep Docks, a labyrinthine port area with maze-like pathways and hostile enemies around every corner. It seems designed to test both navigation skills and combat awareness, especially as the environment itself feels like a puzzle. The combination of vertical layouts, environmental hazards, and enemies working in tandem should make this one of the tougher zones Hornet has to conquer. These aren't the only areas teased. Trailers have revealed snippets of forests, fiery caverns, and mysterious towns, all pointing toward an incredible variety of backdrops. And the best part, what we've seen is only scratching the surface. If Hollowness taught us anything, it's that Team Cherry loves hiding secrets in places you least expect. Pharloom seems destined to carry on that tradition at an even greater scale. Hornet's mobility. Hornet plays nothing like the Knight from the original. She's faster, more agile, and her movement toolkit feels like it was designed for creative problem solving. Players familiar with Hollow Knight's slower, deliberate platforming will immediately notice the difference. Hornet can still perform downward slashes for extra momentum, but her arsenal goes far beyond that. She can hurl her nail into enemies and then pull herself toward them, almost like a hook. This mechanic alone changes how players approach combat and exploration, allowing for faster chaining of attacks or clever gap crossing. Trailers also showcase her jumps, which immediately expands vertical exploration. The movement abilities are amusing yet practical. These mechanics open up new ways to traverse complex maps while giving combat a faster tempo. Mobility is integral to how Silksong is built. Environmental puzzles, tricky platforming segments, and enemy design are all tailored to Hornet's expanded movement set. Healing and Silk System. Silksong introduces a brand new healing mechanic tied to Hornet's use of silk. Unlike the Knight's gradual focus healing, Hornet's system is fast and immediate. By consuming an entire spool of silk, she can restore health instantly, allowing players to get back into the fight without lengthy downtime. This immediacy changes the pace of combat dramatically. You no longer have to carve out breathing room for a slow heal. Instead, recovery is quick and seamless. But there's a catch. The entire spool is spent, regardless of how much health you're missing. That means one careless scratch can cost you the same resource as surviving near-death damage. This risk-reward system forces tough decisions. Do you heal early and sacrifice future flexibility, or push forward hoping not to take another hit? Experienced players will need to master resource management as much as reflexes. It's also worth noting that silk ties into other mechanics, such as tools and abilities, making it a central pillar of gameplay. Every spool spent on healing is one you can't use elsewhere. Silksong's healing system feels designed to keep the adrenaline high. Crafting and tools. One of the most exciting changes in Silksong is the introduction of a full crafting system. Hornet collects materials from defeated enemies and uses them to build tools, which adds some preparation and customization not found in Hollow Knight. Tools aren't optional extras, though. They are powerful abilities that expand both combat and exploration. The straight pin offers ranged precision, giving players a way to strike from a distance. The silk spear requires combat engagement to recharge, rewarding players who stay aggressive. The sting shard is described as a vicious stabbing trap, while the magma bell provides protection against heat and lava-filled environments. What makes crafting even more interesting is that it encourages experimentation. Instead of sticking to one loadout, players will adapt based on the enemies or regions they face. This flexibility ensures playthroughs feel personal and reactive rather than rigid. It also ties back to the game's themes of resourcefulness and survival. Enemies and bosses. Variety is the heart of Silksong's bestiary. Team Cherry confirmed there will be over 200 unique enemy types, which is a massive jump from the original game's already impressive roster. The enemies are designed with its own attack patterns, behaviors, and weaknesses, ensuring encounters never feel repetitive. From what we've seen, enemies range from tiny crawl bugs to towering monsters, all fitting seamlessly into Pharloom's ecosystem. Many are tied to specific biomes, meaning your approach in one region won't necessarily carry over to another. Adaptability will be crucial. And then there are the bosses, more than 40 of them. Trailers alone have teased a roaring beast, hidden in lava caverns, agile fighters like Lace, and even coordinated duos who attack in tandem. Boss fights are where Silksong's fast-paced combat truly shines, pushing Hornet's mobility and toolset to the limit. Fans of Hollow Knight know how memorable those fights were, and Silksong looks ready to raise the stakes even further. Post-launch plans and reviews controversy. Even before release, Silksong's future has been a hot topic. Team Cherry has already confirmed they plan to expand the game post-launch, just like they did with Hollow Knight. Co-director William Pellon revealed the team has ambitious plans for new content, though admitted some goals may be difficult to achieve. This echoes the original game's free updates, which added significant value over time. Players can likely expect more quests, challenges, or tools to deepen the experience even further. But not all news has been smooth. Team Cherry made waves when they announced there would be no pre-launch review codes. Their reasoning? They felt it would be unfair for critics to play early when backers and the general public had to wait. While understandable, this decision sparked debate. Some see it as transparency. Others worry about buying blind without early impressions. One silver lining is for Hollow Knight backers. Those who supported the first game during its Kickstarter will receive Silksong for free, honouring its roots as an initially planned expansion. Between the promise of future content and the unusual approach to reviews, Silksong's launch is turning out to be as bold and unpredictable as its journey to release. And that's 9 things you absolutely need to know before picking up Hollow Knight: Silksong. From its massive world and agile combat to ambitious post-launch plans, it's clear Team Cherry has built something special. September 4th is shaping up to be a landmark day for fans of Metroidvania adventures. Here on Retro Pocket, we'll be keeping a close eye on everything that comes next. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more deep dives into the games you love.